Arsenal.
Yeah?
I mean,
We just softened you up with the Chelsea's. You're aware of that, aren't you? Is that...
what did you? I mean, I'm right. We've not heard from you since Sunday. Where are you at with what happened on Sunday?
Obviously, very emotional last time. You know, Roy made me know. I was very emotional about it. But the fact is,
emotional guy. I like that.
Emotional guy. But you know what? Leading into that was obviously Southampton and Bournemouth. So I was, you know, I was reeling off of that. And worked great against Sporting Lisbon, but. I said in the show that I just want to see something from us in respect to show us that you can do something, you can give us something. Because if we'd won the games previously and done well getting to Man City, it's never going to be that it's decided on the Man City game. You want to try and get that cushion so when you play that game, whatever happens, you're okay because you're going to beat the rest. So leading into that, obviously, and the way we played, you know what I mean, I was disappointed, but we played well enough to win the game. We should have at least got a draw out of that game because watching Eze, Havertz and Ødegaard, we create the kind of chances that we should have taken. We should have taken them. And again, it shows that Man City, people say, I think City will lose again this season. And I'm saying, well, really? But then you watch it and you think, they do give chances up. And if you're going to be ruthless, you take them. Arsenal probably could win that game. They could have won the game. You know, Haaland had one chance, bam, took it. You know, so I'm a lot better now because now what they've got to do, Ryan, you guys will know, you've done it so many times, they've just got to say, right, we've got to go and really get ruthless with everything because if City beat Burnley, was it tonight or tomorrow? Tonight. If they beat them tonight, then it's in City's hands. So now, maybe that might take a bit of pressure up, then they can just go for it, you know, and so now I'm back on the wagon of, let's go and
positive,
get it.
Yeah.
Let's go and get it. But like
the
last week, yeah, I was desperate. Yeah, I watch. You know what? I don't like watching it with my youngest son. He's too deep. He's too deep. He's just like everything's no. The manager, the players, we've got to get rid of it.
Where does he get that from?
I don't know where he gets that from. I don't know where he gets that from because I sit there and I'm quiet. And then the day after, we have the texts and messages all day about, well, you shouldn't have said this. Yeah, but I said that because I meant that. And then we get back to the positive. But we're both very emotional, as you can imagine. But I felt a lot better after that game. You know, I watched the game, watched the guys. I felt a lot better after that game because I saw enough in that game for us to beat the teams that we should be beating afterwards, and now it's up to them.
What did Havertz do wrong, Righty, from a technical perspective when that ball comes in and he's obviously missing
the header
at the end?
Well, the header's come from such there's nothing else he can be doing with that ball where he's got the space to cross it. He can see Havertz, he's in between the defenders. Now, all Havertz has to do is make sure that he just gets the flight of that, you know, because it's coming at a perfect height, you know, and the way he headed it, for him to still head it, you've got to come in. And so when it's coming in, you make sure you get yourself in a position where, you know, right, I go now and then bam, over there. You know, what he done was he came in and he went bam. You know, he didn't get enough on it where he's watching it. Like you watch the top one. You know, I mentioned Shearer, you mentioned someone like Teddy Sheringham, Shearer. That is a goal. Harry Kane, that is a goal. Because they're getting their bodies into a position where when they attack that, there's no way you're going to save because the pace on it and the header you're going to put on it. So I don't think that he got himself in a position where he can come and attack it. He just went like that, you know. So yeah.
And why is that? Because he's not a natural finisher.
He's not like a big, powerful...
Yeah, because like that's the kind of chance.
But what a chance it was.
It was a fantastic chance to the point where it come over. I'm thinking there's only one outcome, and so when he missed it, you think, well, that's again. Again, we have to look at the fact that, you know, our striker, what we've bought to try and take those chances, is not even on the pitch, right? So that says enough about that because maybe if he was on the pitch as a natural striker, he would realise, right, I've got to make sure this ball's coming in here. He might have done it. But Kai, you know, just coming back in, you know what I mean? We know he's not an out-and-out striker. And then now you can look at it and you look at it and then you start analysing it like that because if that was an out-and-out striker, I think he scores that. And I think he scores the one where he goes through and the goalie saves it. Yeah. Because, again, he's coming in from on that left side on his strong foot. You cannot hit the goalie. You have to be aiming there. You have to be lifting it in that place because, remember, the legs are low, so you're going to have to go over those. So if you're going high and you're close to him, it's going to hit him in here, and he's massive. So you've got to know the goalkeeper you're coming up against. So you're coming in this... It's got to go over there. I'd rather him miss...
On the one where he goes through in the left channel?
Yeah. I'd rather him miss on the outside post. Yeah. Because the worst way is you're going to get it inside the post, right, post and go in. But don't hit the goalie here when there's all that. Yeah. Those are the kind of chances, when you look back at it, those are the margins that we're getting to now, where you think, well, yeah, that can cost you. Because, like, Haaland, I think it was one chance he had, right? I know it was like he's battling for him and so, but like the way he took it, fought him off, and then calm. That's what you need in the situation.
Do you think, I felt Mikel Arteta had a good game in terms of the decisions he made. Was there anything that you think he could have done differently?
I don't think I would have taken Eze off. You saw Eze hit the post. And again, you know, whatever people say about, but moments play. The fact is, he plays in an area of the field where he can make those moments happen. Like that came literally out of the blue. Bam, hits the post with his left foot. I would have kept him on because he's got that in him. You know, to bring on Trossard, I'm not knocking him, but I think you take away something from the attack with Eze. I think starting Eze on the left with Havertz and Ødegaard, we created enough chances. That's the only thing. I probably wouldn't have taken him off because he's the one where, you know, you say, I'm gonna keep him on. I think he'll do something. Yeah, just needs a moment.
I think it was a good weekend for the Premier League. I know we've been saying the quality this year, but I thought this weekend, like obviously City Arsenal game was excellent. Obviously Liverpool digging out results. United winning.
7 goals. Villa,
no, we watched Villa Sunderland game. It was brilliant.
Brilliant game.
Even Spurs showing a bit of fight at last.
Brilliant.
It was like, and obviously the quality of the City Arsenal game was good. I think it was a good weekend.
I really enjoyed the weekend of football. I thought Donnarumma as well, after making that mistake, I think he showed why he's a top player to make that save. And then obviously set up the goal, really, didn't he? I think to have that mentality to come back, that's a sign of a top
Jamie done some brilliant analysis on that on Monday night.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I thought that was pretty good in the way that we were too far up and bam. What do you think? What do you think?
I would completely disagree with that.
What do you think?
About the winning goal?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. See, he was defending Martinelli a little bit because he showed a clip of Martinelli winning on the halfway line.
You think it should have been deeper?
You win on the halfway line when you've got numbers and you're more compact, and that's on the halfway line. When the goalkeeper has it for Man City, Martinelli runs before he even throws it. Right. And as you know, if you're going to press, you press in numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
He must look that there's nothing behind me. And he runs before he throws the ball. If he throws the ball and he sprints and does something brilliant, he ran.
Was he anticipating?
And he also must look going, I'm gonna press somebody here. The keeper's, it's not left his arms yet, and there's nobody behind me. What you do is, if you're going to press, you have a look around you. There's people behind me.
But Roy, is there a trigger that they do go and press that, and that he thinks that guy should become? It's almost like an automatic they go into, don't it? You know what I mean? I'm imagining that must be like in the first half.
What do you mean? What does that mean? I'm imagining.
No, but in the first half, if you remember, when Arsenal pushed in the areas, the others followed in behind, even Gabriel.
Times to do it up, but what you do is if you won every time you press, it'd be fantastic. But you smell when you think it's a good time to press.
It felt wrong.
You don't press on your own against Man City. Man City want you to press with 5 or 6. Do you think they're worried about 1?
It felt.
And when Martinelli. And you might go, well, Martinelli, his enthusiasm, his energy, I hadn't left the goalkeeper's arms.
No.
But if he threw it wide and he went, I know my players, this guy's a bit nervous, I'll press him, like Bournemouth done to Arsenal last week. And this is the full... He'd won it a few minutes earlier where Jamie used an example. That was on the halfway line where you're more compact and there was 3 or 4 players in midfield.
I think that comes down
on his own.
I think that comes down with the manager, what the manager wants. Because he's on... No, let me just say... It's only because I think that when you look at Mikel and what he's like on the line, he's managing every single second. So I think that, like you said there, Martinelli's probably gone on autopilot because that's what the... But then when you watched it, there was such a massive space there that it just...
You don't press.
Yeah.
You don't press when there's loads of space against Man City.
It felt uncomfortable.
Look, put it this way, when the goalkeeper saw Martinelli making that run, he was like, oh, happy days, that.
Yeah.
Right, O'Reilly,
it was basic, wasn't it? It was actually...
Yeah,
you don't normally see a goalkeeper throwing it into that space, and all of a sudden the whole game...
But if you watch it, Martinelli, Martinelli forced him to do it. Martinelli didn't go, do you know, I'm going to go half and half.
Yeah, he made his mind up.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, he made his mind up.
What Martinelli...